reach for my hand, I'll soar away into the dawn. Oh, I wish I could stay here and cherish hearts in peaceful days. I fear the edge of dawn, knowing time betrays.
Part 1. White Clouds. Blue Sea Moon. The goddess's rite of rebirth. As the sun grows stronger and the nights grow ever shorter, the blue sea star returns to the sky once more. Believed to be the goddess's home, her followers look to the star and commence celebrations of her rebirth. On the grounds of Garreg Mach Monastery, a grand ceremony is held in honor of this much-anticipated event. Every true follower of the Church of Cerfs is sure to be in attendance.
Perfect timing, Professor. If you don't mind, I have a favor I'd like to ask of you. It's in regard to sword training. Not for myself, but, well... To be honest, I've been teaching swordsmanship to the orphans at the monastery for a while now. Some of them saw me sparring with the knights one day. They started pestering me to teach them. They were so earnest, I couldn't help but oblige. There's much I wish to show them, but due to my own studies and training, I'm afraid my time is rather limited. Which brings me to my favor. Your swordsmanship is unmatched. I hate to ask this of you, but would you consider lending me a hand? Thank you, truly. I am in your debt, and I always repay my debts, I'll have you know. All of these children lost their families and homes to war or illness. This may sound a bit arrogant, but I feel it's my responsibility to help them. I lost my parents without warning, too. In that way, we're the same. In Duscur, I lost my father, stepmother, and closest friends. I didn't have many allies at the castle after that. In truth, I had only to do for companionship. I once had people I could confide in. Family, friends, instructors, even the royal soldiers. But they were all taken away from me 4 years ago. Ah, but there were those outside the castle walls I was close to, such as Rodrigue. Pardon my rudeness. I meant Lord Rodrigue. He is my father's old companion, and the father of Felix. On the occasions he would visit the capital, he'd take me out hunting or on long horse rides. While Dedu is like a brother to me, Rodrigue is more like a second father. It might sound ridiculous, but he's the kind of man I hope to become one day. Someone who helps others. Someone who can reach out and save a lost soul. Oh, please accept my apologies for boring you with my life story. In any case, don't forget your promise, Professor. I'm counting on you. So, our task for this moon is to patrol and guard the monastery, to help put a stop to that assassination plot. The knights will certainly have their hands full protecting Lady Rhea, and perhaps our enemy is counting on that.
Please, elaborate.
Why would Lord Lenato be carrying around a secret note with an assassination plot written on it? Isn't it possible he hoped to monopolize everyone's attention with this alleged plot in order to distract from his true aim?
Maybe they're after the treasure vault. There's also lots of valuable stuff in the library and Professor Hanneman's quarters.
True. The monastery undoubtedly houses many weapons that rival even the hero's relics.
Whatever their aim, we can't allow any harm to come to the ladies of the monastery. I mean, what would I do with my spare time?
You mean to say we should search the monastery, try to find what the enemy is truly after?
Yes. And we should be prepared to fight them as well, should it come to that. I wouldn't mind getting in some training, just in case.
A secret meeting, Professor? Oh, we haven't been introduced. I am Shamir.
Shamir is one of the Knights of Cerfs, and this young man here is...
I work for Lady Rhea, and I'm Shamir's apprentice. Oh, the name's Cyril. Yep, I help Lady Rhea with all kinds of stuff. I've got to protect Lady Rhea, so that's why I've got to learn all I can from Shamir.
Cyril adores Rhea. That aside, if you need anything, ask.
That's the third time this month. Well, that's that. Father never relents. Oh, Professor! Hello! Did you need something? Well, that is... I was just tossing out something I have no need of. It's important to keep our spaces clean after all. You'd do well to remember that too, Professor. A clean space makes for a clean mind, or some such. Getting rid of things you have no need for is the first step to managing one's belongings in an economical way. Certainly, I'd love to. Just say when, and I'll be there in an instant. Despite my family's nobility, we've never been particularly wealthy. So my father raised me to be conservative with my resources, paring down when necessary. He also encouraged me to keep my living spaces immaculate, so the two go hand in hand, I suppose. Yes, he's a good person. Even when managing our territory used up most of our family's resources, he still went out of his way to ensure my comfort. Oh, just a scrap of paper. It was already written on, so no good for note-taking. And obviously, I can't use it to clean my lance. So I tossed it. No need to hang on to inconsequential things, you know. Professor, did you come to check on me for any particular reason? I hope Sylvain and Felix aren't getting into trouble as they tend to do. Oh, well, if there's nothing important, I'll be on my way then. I still have some cleaning to take care of, after all. Talk to you later, Professor. Hi there, Ash. Here to do some reading as well, I take it? Ash?
Huh, Ingrid! You gave me a start. How long have you been standing there?
Not too long. Apologies for startling you. Must be a great book for you to be so deeply engrossed in it. What has you so captivated?
Oh, it's quite an old book. One of the really old legends of Fargus.
Aha! It must be the Sword of Kaifon then, yes?
Oh, so you know it.
Oh yes. I know it quite well. I read it often as a child. In fact, I read it so much that my personal copy fell apart. I brought it everywhere with me. I adore that book. The tale of the warrior Kaifon, whose devotion and loyalty enabled his best friend Luke to become king. He went to great lengths to see things through.
Exactly! I love the image of him charging forward into the fray, ready to take on any obstacle in the name of his king.
Indeed, he was the very picture of the perfect knight. In my opinion, the best chapter is right around the middle of the book.
Ah, the part about the war of the eagle and lion? That's my favorite part. In a flash, Kaifon's sword flew from its scabbard. The knight parried the assassin's blade mere inches from the spine of his king.
Kaifon's blade hummed like the wind, slashing the enemy's throat. In mere moments, their forces lay vanquished, decimated by his mighty blows. I can recite the entirety of it if you like. I never grow weary of that tale, the pinnacle of knighthood, with all its struggles and glory.
I know just what you mean. I never get tired of it. Some people laugh at me for reading these old tales, but I'll never outgrow them. I'm glad to find someone who shares my enthusiasm.
I'm glad of it as well. Tell me, what other books do you enjoy, Ash?
Well, the first one I ever read was Lug and the Maiden of Wind.
You have fantastic taste! That story is another favorite. The final chapter makes me tear up every time.
I know. When I first read it, I just couldn't get that ending out of my head.
It seems we have much in common. I look forward to chatting again sometime.
I'd love to. Yes, let's.
That was quite a sigh. What's wrong, Ingrid?
Tell me, Sylvain, what am I to you?
You're my friend. One of my oldest, in fact.
An old friend, is it? Then why must I clean up the casualties left behind by your skirt chasing?
Nobody asked you to do that. Heck, I thought you enjoyed it. Besides, you're real good at it. I'm excited to continue working with you.
Do you mean to imply you have no intention of acting a bit more respectably?
Please don't yell like that. Everybody's staring at us.
When you were 8, you came on to my sweet, sweet granny. My granny!
Come on! I was 8 and she was That was a long time ago.
Sylvain hit on Ingrid's grandmother? Wow.
People can hear you. Please be quiet.
When you were 10, we went to that harvest festival, and you started making eyes at a scarecrow.
A scarecrow?
Wait a second. That was just an accident. A tragic, tragic accident.
When you were 15, you sought, relentlessly might I add, to involve yourself with Lord Gwendol's daughter. Who do you suppose made peace with the furious Lord despite having nothing to do with it? Me. Always me, always for you. Every time.
What a jerk. You know what? This conversation is over. I'm done.
My point is that this has to end. Not later, but now.
Fine. I promise I'll try to change. Are you happy now?
Hello, Ingrid. Can I have just a teeny tiny moment of your time?
Sure. I can spare a moment or two.
I was wondering, do you have any interest in fashion and makeup and stuff like that?
I haven't the time to bother with such frivolities. As long as basic hygiene is being met, then I'm happy.
Oh, but you're missing out on something so fun. I mean, it's not like you need it, of course. You've got beautiful bone structure, lovely hair, long legs, but aren't you interested in trying something new?
Well, thank you. I suppose I do find it all somewhat intriguing. But my time is precious to me, and my focus is on knighthood. Taking time to paint my face simply isn't a top priority.
Sure, but imagine if you could combine the two and become the most fabulous knight ever. Okay, maybe I'm taking it too far. I know knights don't necessarily need a ton of makeup or things like that for the job. I'm just saying, I really think you'd enjoy it if you opened your mind to it. All I'm talking about is a light touch. I can see it now. Your gorgeous face done up with a delicate application of makeup. The fabulous knight who everyone looks up to and wants to be.
Well, maybe? I guess. That does sound mostly harmless.
Hooray! Okay, we don't have a moment to lose. Here, take this makeup kit, play around with the colors, and see what speaks to you.
Now, wait just a...
I actually got that little kit as a gift the other day, and I wasn't sure what to do with it because I already have that one. It's a limited palette, but I think it fits the look you're going for perfectly.
I actually never agreed to start putting that stuff on my face, Annette.
What? Oh, well then, I guess this whole kit will have to...
You're throwing it away? I can't just stand by and let something go to waste. Okay. All right. Thank you. We can do this.
That's the spirit! Oh, and I'm happy to help you learn to apply it too. Come on, let's go to my room. I have some brush techniques to show you before you get started.
Now, don't get carried away. Ugh. She played me like a fiddle.
You think I'd cheat? On you, baby? Never. Come on. You should know me better than that. You're the only one for me. I swear. Hey, if you don't believe me, well... Oh, I get it. If I'm not your type, do you want me to introduce you to some other guys who have crests? They're all nobles, just like me.
What? That isn't why I'm... You're worse than I thought!
I just want you to be happy. You know, get what you're after. I hate seeing a girl cry, especially one as beautiful as you. So, you know, maybe we... So, Professor, do you enjoy spying on people? You look like you've got something to say, so say it. Weren't you listening? I'm on her side. She knows that. But you know how it is. Most relationships, they end in heartbreak. Anyway, I don't know why she's so upset about me dating other girls. She didn't care before she found out, so why does she care now? I really do hate seeing a girl cry. Come on, it's hard on me too. If only I had someone to comfort me. Professor, it's okay if you want to console me. I happen to have some exquisite tea back in my quarters. You could come by and we could chat about love. Calm down, it was only a joke. You've really got no sense of humor, you know that?
The goddess's rite of rebirth is finally here. Let's move ahead with our plan.
Leave it to me. Professor, are you in as well?
We've narrowed down their objective. Kind of. So, let's show everyone that we can carry out our duties better than anyone.
We're counting on you, Professor.
You seem a mite too relaxed for my liking. The goddess's rite of rebirth is about to begin. While we are in the goddess tower, we are relying on you to secure the locations that are lacking in defense.
May I let you in on something, Professor? My brother can be a bit... callous. He told me that he was concerned about you, and hinted that perhaps you would be better off patrolling a coffin.
That was said in jest, Flane, and in confidence. Please just remain by my side and do not cause any more trouble. As a professor, you would do well to remember that it is your duty to guide your students down the path of righteousness.
Please excuse us, everyone. We shall see you again after the ceremony has concluded.
It's time.
All right. Let's stick to the plan and go hide where we can watch over the entrance to the Holy Mausoleum. If anyone suspicious enters, We'll follow them in and take them down. Got it?
It's no use. A seal is broken. You can't... a sword.
That sword is... I see. What a pleasant surprise.
As all of you have committed a breach of faith, the Archbishop will now pass judgment.
Inciting a kingdom noble to rebel. Unlawful entry. The attempted assassination of the Archbishop. An attack on the Holy Mausoleum. It is unnecessary to go on, followers of the Western Church.
What? We have nothing to do with the Western Church.
You have already been identified. Please spare us your second-rate theater.
Dishonoring a holy ceremony is worthy of death for a member of the Church. You are well past the hope of redemption. If you have any grace remaining, you will willingly offer your life as atonement for this crime.
No! This isn't what we were told would happen! We've been deceived!
It's no use arguing. Whatever your excuse, the punishment stands.
May your souls find peace as they return to the goddess.
Wait! Please! The goddess would never forgive you for our execution!
Monster! We know you've already slaughtered many of our fellow brethren like this.
This concludes the investigation. Please remove these poor lost souls from my sight.
There you have it. It seems the assassination attempt and the attack on the Holy Mausoleum were all the work of the Western Church. As for the masked knight who led the attack, I'm afraid his whereabouts are yet unknown.
It makes no sense that the Western Church would try such a thing.
It just goes to show that the Church of Cerfs is not completely united. The Church is led by those here at Garreg Mach, and the Western Church doesn't have a strong voice on its governing council. I imagine the Western Church has harbored some resentment toward the Central Church for a while now. Ah, that's right. Gerald did say that you grew up outside the influence of the Church. The Church of Cerfs is split into a few branches across Fodlan. The largest being the Central Church, which is headquartered right here at Garreg Mach. The Western Church lies far to the west of Castle Gaspar, where Lord Lonato held his rebellion. It's situated on the far side of the kingdom's most impressive fortress, Aryan Road. I imagine the Western Church's intention was to eliminate Lady Rhea, and the Central Church's authority along with her. Naturally, the Knights will be riding out to question the Western Church's top officials, or rather, to punish them.
When they do, Your Highness, we will likely be asked to help carry out said punishment.
Indeed. Now, I don't mean to be rude, Professor, but I must say your situation is rather unusual. For someone to grow up in Fodlan, and yet never have any contact with the Church of Cerfs it's hard to believe.
I wonder why the Archbishop would hire someone like that as a professor.
So, those people from the Western Church where... Lady Rhea had them killed, didn't she?
Well, of course she did. Going against the teachings of Cerfs like that, quite unforgivable.
Those who stray must be punished, I suppose. That said, Professor,
There you are, Professor. It seems Lady Rhea would like a word with you. Come with me.
The Archbishop lives. Not that I had ever placed much faith in those swine from the Western Church.
I have news, both good and bad. The remains of Cerfs were not in a tomb. However, something else was. The Sword of the Creator.
Ah, the weapon wielded by that thief, the King of Liberation.
Thief? Huh. At any rate, it is now in the hands of the Academy's new professor. I doubt you will be surprised to hear that the crest stone had already been removed from the sword when it was found.
As expected. It would be foolish to keep both in the same location.
There's more. The professor was able to awaken the sword's true power. Even without the crest stone, the sword glowed red. The professor's crest is compatible. There is no mistaking it.
Absurd. Using a relic without its crest stone should be impossible. The King of Liberation's bloodline should not even...
They must be allowed to keep it, for now. I do not have enough information about the professor to act. As for your request, I assent. The Death Knight is at your command. Use him well.
Good. I believe I will enjoy this a great deal.
I cannot thank you enough for defeating those invaders in the Holy Mausoleum, and especially for protecting the Sword of the Creator. That sword is one of the hero's relics, and the most precious artifact in the Church's possession. It is also a weapon of terrifying power. For now, I will entrust the sword to you. Please, use it wisely.
Lady Rhea, wait! Do you truly mean to give the Sword of the Creator to this... stranger? Surely it is not the sort of thing one hands over so readily, even to someone who has the ability to wield it. If someone like Nemesis were to appear again, all of Fodlan would be consumed by war. Nemesis, the King of Liberation. He is an ancient king of mankind who was defeated by Cerfs over 1,000 years ago. When Fodlan was attacked by wicked gods, it is said that the goddess gifted Nemesis with the Sword of the Creator. Nemesis used that sword to defeat the wicked gods, saving all of Fodlan. Henceforth, he was dubbed the King of Liberation. However, his power began to corrupt him until he himself turned to the darkness. Saint Cerfs was forced to destroy him. Lady Rhea, I beg you to reconsider. Given a little more time, we could more accurately assess this stranger's abilities.
No. I have faith, Seteth. Faith that our friend here will not be corrupted by wickedness. Since the death of Nemesis, none have been able to wield the Sword of the Creator. Now, after all those long years of being sealed away, it has returned and found a new master.
I understand. As you wish, Lady Rhea. There you have it, Professor. See that you do not betray the trust the Archbishop has seen fit to bestow upon you.
The Sword of the Creator? The King of Liberation? Each tale is more confusing than the last. And I really can't read that Rhea at all. That sword is clearly precious. So why is she so keen to gift the thing to you? I feel feel as though we have become entangled in a mystery. And there is one more thing that has been plaguing me. The sword of the Creator. It somehow feels distinct from other relics we have seen. Such as the one that... Oh goodness, what was her name? Yes, her! The sword of the Creator is different from her Thunderbrand in one key way. It bears a hole, where something should have been, but is no more. I despise not knowing what is going on. It frightens me. And yet, I place my trust in you. I must. Whatever comes to pass, please swear to cut a path that is your own.